Okay, hello there. Let's begin. So I thought we could do some Elven Knights today. It's just kind of the image that I have in my head. I want to draw a knight kind of just holding a sword towards the camera like that. Not sure how big it's going to be. Gotta think about their arms as well, right? Maybe we should do the silhouette in a proper big brush instead of trying to use lines. If we're gonna design it for a silhouette, let's do it like that. I want a nice grey for the silhouette instead if we're doing it like that. A little bit darker. Yeah, there you go. A little bit better. I think maybe the sword pointing down a bit more. Nah, let's keep it steady like that. Oh, I mean to do that. There you go. I think we're getting a pretty good, nice little skeleton together now. So yeah, we was talking about designing with silhouettes last time. Just thought maybe today we can go full in and doing like full human characters, because humans are like a little bit like gangly, I guess. I don't know. It's naturally quite difficult to do, but I feel like the silhouette method of what's it called, of concept design is a big aid in things like drawing a person in proportion in the right pose, especially when it comes to character design. You know, you always see people start with the silhouette first. I don't know if I want them to hold the sword up just a bit higher, maybe up there. Should we try that? Yeah, alright, I do like that a little bit more. You can see how quickly you can sort of put something together. It's a little bit better than designing with the lines, especially because you can zoom out and do it. And zooming out is super important in a painting. Don't know why I colour selected then. But yeah, I'm just going back and forth really between the eraser and the paintbrush, slowly piecing it together. Still, you know, I use the colour picker because I don't know if it does it in Krita, but I remember, I don't know if it's, I don't know what software has trained me to do that. But one of these software, or maybe a couple of them, they do, if you use the colour picker, it takes you to the brush automatically. So I suppose I've been trained to kind of do that as a shortcut. So yeah, I'm quite liking that. Like I said, there's going to be armor, so we can start to actually, even in the silhouette, we can start to put some really, you know, some subtle design elements. Something like that. I don't know whether doing it in silhouette like this makes the feet easier or harder. Yeah, like I say, I'm kind of thinking Elven, so I'm trying to sculpt it in that way. I want it to be lots of layers of thin metal. I think that can often look quite cool. Sometimes even slightly kind of futuristic or magical, you know. Kind of layered, super fine layered armor. Damn it, I'm still doing it. Need that leg and foot to feel more like it's in the background. It shouldn't be lower than this one. This one's the one that's close to us. This one's the one that's slightly further away. So yeah, our hands are basically going to meet right there. There you go. All Elven swords have to be shaped like that, by the way, by law. Right, I'm not sure what to do for the headpiece. Didn't mean to do that. We could put a visor of some kind. I don't know. I want them to, I don't know. I want them to kind of not be wearing a helmet, because I feel like that's kind of more of a fantasy vibe, right? So maybe a hair like flown in the wind instead. Yeah, something like that. Seems like a nice enough silhouette so far. We've even got some people joining. Right then, let's start adding some colour. Yeah, we I don't know if I've kind of ever painted this way, so strictly from the silhouette. It's not going too badly so far. And we're just kind of getting, this is just a colour palette, this stage of the approaches. We're just trying to get roughly the right colours in roughly the right areas. Trying to start with the bright highlight on the armour, because that often helps. I think there needs to be this zigzag shape here. And then kind of want the blue sky in the armour then. It's going to be really, really highly reflective, you know, kind of mirror polish armor, so, and she's going to be kind of outdoors, I think, so we're going to have basically the sky and the grass reflected in the armor. That's why we've gone white for the sun, you know, the direct reflection. We've gone blue for the sky. Now we're doing kind of we need a less saturated green for the grass. There you go, that's about right. Might need it to be a little bit brighter, you know, especially the sky reflected in here. Okay then. I'm going to try some kind of collar shape with the layers on. We do want it to look fancy. I'm going to try and get some really fancy design in this armor if I can. Trying to hint at some layers right there, right on the arm. I don't know how I'm going to do the skirt down here. I guess it's going to be a bit of a chainmail skirt. Interesting, a few people have joined, but not much drawings going on. This looks amazing so far. That looks really great. I hope they continue that. Looks awesome. Right, let's try and get this design on. You'll see, we're just getting the foundations in right now. We're just getting the right values in roughly the right places, but you'll see we'll, once we start detailing, it'll really pop out into existence. It's just important for us for now to stay zoomed out and almost try to blur our eyes and get it looking right from afar. Okay then, I'm going to do a big change to the silhouette, which is not really ideal. Don't want to do it so late in the process like here, but you can just see that that leg is swaying away from where it really should be. Should be something more like this, right? Really want to see how high we can push the detail here as well. I'm probably going to try and put more detail towards the top of the image though, where the face is. Maybe some in the sword too. We've got to figure out how the hands are grasping that handle as well. But you can see we've kind of bypassed it for now. Just a bit of a blur. Okay then, just making it more and more believable. She's an elf, remember. Time to add the one change that does that. But I think it's the design of the stuff too. I really need to start thinking about adding some elven designs to the armor, really. Thinking about it. I feel like this arm should be a lot more raised higher. Yeah, it's really starting to feel like our ideas coming together now. Let's add some more darks. This is just kind of a lot of ambient shadow that I'm putting in now with these greens. I want this skirt to be kind of a red colour. I want it to be quite muted still. And we'll figure out the exact structure of it later. We're still in the colour palette process. I do wonder why people paint stuff and then remove it before they leave. It's very strange. I don't know if I'll ever work that one out. See if we can do some fancy kneecap design. Oh, I'm painting with the eraser here. No wonder it wasn't as bright as I was expecting. Still trying to keep it sort of general. Really want to put a lot of attention into this top half, mostly because it's probably going to go in the YouTube thumbnail. But yeah, if I can get this part and, you know, the actual sword pointing, very happy. Let's give them light coloured hair. Just doing a bit of a basic shadow pattern on the face here. Slowly bringing it into life. I feel like we're mostly done with the colour palette stage now. The legs still need a lot more detail, of course, than that skirt does. I think I might make it out of lots of links, some kind of shingle material. But we'll see, because obviously we've got to decide where we focus our attention on. It's only a finite amount of time you have as an artist to make any given project. Yeah, I want a darker value on these arms, purple value. Excuse me. Sorry, I couldn't find the mute button quite fast enough. Oh, paint with the eraser again. It's either the eraser or the colour picker. Okay. Now we're going to really try and make this look like feel like metal. Getting the final colour palette in other words. Might try to add some colour abstraction in here and now. Get it looking nice, you know. Here's where we want the really dreamy colours. Let's get the grass around here, I suppose, for greener colours. The greener colours look nicer in the brighter areas for some reason. I think because it's just a little bit closer to yellow. So add some of those crazy values in there. Makes it look kind of almost nostalgic as well, I feel like. Yeah. So we're really sculpting that together now. Maybe it won't be like an elf, it might end up being something completely unique. But I'm liking this sort of visual effect of the armour. Still very early days for this painting, I feel like. Sometimes just drawing on paintings like this can really help you to sort of get some teeth on the actual design and help your brain to sort of see the direction better. My least favourite part, trying to get the head to look right, the face to look right. But we're going to give it a good go. Gonna give it a good go today. I feel like the head's too low, and I know I've added all of this stuff, but I feel like it's still too low. So I'm going to grab it and lift it up. Okay then. Try something more like that maybe. I still feel like they should have chainmail on their neck. Maybe we can make part of the chainmail a bit brighter, make a bit more sense. that making sense? I don't know. I feel like it's closer. Alright then, let's get this right. And that is looking right, you know. I feel like I want to push the collar up more again, honestly. Drawing with the eraser, god damn it. Yeah, let's push the color a little bit up more to match. Oh, it's coming together now. I don't know if I've ever drawn like flowing hair in the wind, or at least not for a long time. So it's going to be interesting trying to figure our way out through that. This armor is very unique looking now, for sure. Kind of wanted bigger shoulder blades, I feel like. Trying to do some basic sort of panel lines down here. See how that goes. Yeah, doesn't look too bad, right? Gotta figure out some way for this skirt thing, chainmail thing to attach. Oh, yeah, I wish you didn't do that. Make your colour picker the main tool just because you tapped it for a little amount of time. Yeah, it seemed like at one point a bunch of people joined, some people were painting stuff, and then it kind of packed up and left. I don't know where. Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite understand the psyche yet, but we'll keep going at it. I'm sure we'll get a bit of a community built up eventually. But yeah. It's nice, man. It's nice. It's nice that you can, you know, that there is some kind of like online ability to paint, though. You know, especially the fact that they link it up in a way that it has an actual nice kind of, you know, server front end where anyone can start their own art jam or what have you, and have people just be able to join off their own backs. I don't know how I can still have the ear showing, and I don't know how the hair's gonna flow around it. I'm not actually very good at hair, not gonna lie. I lost it. Pressed Z one too many times and then accidentally tapped the canvas just after. Refining the exact shape of the arms and stuff here now, trying to get the silhouettes to look just right. I feel like this arm's a bit chunkier and has a more chunky elbow, but I'm going to see how I can work that in. It's the eraser. Yeah, a lump there, I think. That makes sense. Yeah, we've ended up with a nice enough colour palette here. And I haven't played with the filters yet. We'll see how that goes when we do. I want that to be much finer. A lot of trial and error, but we always get there. Always get there in the end. It's part of the beauty of digital. The amount of trial and error that you get, the amount of forgiveness in the medium is just crazy. I feel like the head's a tiny bit too small maybe now. Although I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep the proportions right when you're painting someone with armour. I feel like it is just an illusion that the head looks too small because the armour's so bulked up at the top end. We'll keep it that size. I think I'm going to leave the bottom kind of blurry and maybe even at this level for a while, and maybe if I come back and finish this off, I'll do the legs and this skirt patterning. high detail. Let's just focus on this top half for now. Maybe get the portrait looking right. Excuse me. Got the stream-itis. I remember before, whenever I try and stream, I'm sneezing all the time. And we're only 40 minutes into this painting. I was planning on spending about 2 hours, so we'll probably try and fill that out. Can't wait to see how this looks 2 hours down the line, thinking of it. Right then, yeah, I don't know, I still feel like maybe the head looks just a tiny bit too small. Let's see, I'm going to enlarge it just a tiny bit. Try and not get goaded by the illusion of the armor being larger at the top, thus making the head look smaller than it actually is. Just a tiny adjustment. Yeah, it just looks more to proportion. I feel like that does. Still getting some levels right as well. We haven't reached our full palette yet. We're still on the general palette in a few areas. I think as you get more detailed, you know, sometimes the darks will be in a very small, you know, thin slot, so when your drawing's bigger and blurrier, that doesn't necessarily get seen. That's why you only really get to the full colour palette as you get more detail. I want almost like a pointy shoulder shape here, but I'm not quite sure if it'll work. Something like that, maybe. Really a big exercise in detail management, this is, I feel like. Some bits are so high detail and some bits still kind of low. I feel like the sword is too large as well, you know. Kind of grab all of that area and shrink it down a bit. Something more like that, right? You know what? I do wonder if we went a bit too far on making the upper parts more bulky. I feel like it looks a bit too masculine as well. It was originally meant to be a woman, although I don't always paint with a very specific gender in mind that I'm trying to get to. Sometimes I just sort of see which one looks better as I'm going and then kind of exaggerate those features. We'll really go image first. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Trying to get it to match this one a little bit more, you know, in 3D. I feel like maybe this arm that's towards us is just a bit too long and doesn't really make sense. You know what, I'm gonna try. Let's try this. Something like that. It needs to be the whole arm that gets pushed forwards. Yeah, you know what? I think maybe something like that, but a bit more subtle. Just going crazy with it now. No, let's not do that. We can do it. Just need the arm to not look so long. We can do it like with this sword too, which I'm going to try and do it with paint. Yeah, just make the sword a lot thinner basically, I think. Yeah, it's looking quite a bit better, I think. Making some big changes now, really. See how easily you can make them now. Especially when you've got your detail management in check. Can't wait to do some studies on this channel as well. Just find some pictures to paint from. I think the first thing I'm going to go to is probably armor. I'm doing studies of armor. See, it's just a pretty basic pattern for the face. You've learned it. You've sort of learned it. It's half the challenge of painting faces from imagination. The other half is getting it to look. It's getting the detail and contrast just right. It to not look strange. I'm gonna open her eyes. I wanted her eyes to be sort of closed, but let's open them up. That looks strange, but we'll get it, we'll figure it out. Something more like that, I think, is right. bit strong. Maybe we'll try and just blur it a little bit, just on that cheekbone. It's kind of strange. It looks kind of like because the face is so much high detail than everything else now. Maybe we'll give her an earring as well to make it kind of stand out a little bit more. I think bright purple, or bright blue, sorry. Doesn't quite fit right there. Let's make it darker. We'll add it after. Alright. Gonna make some of the armor a bit more clear now. Just as a little sample, see where we can go with it. That's gonna be mainly done with highlights, of course. Excuse me. Yeah, you can see how far we've got to go with the armor as well to get it to the actual highlight value of almost white. Yeah, we really need to do some brushing up on how to paint hair, honestly. I'm gonna try and do sort of a middle middle part if I can. We'll figure it out. Still think the sword isn't quite right in these forearms. I'm gonna change it again. Does that look a bit more right? Yeah, I think it does. Maybe a tiny bit longer like that. Man, really feel like we are shaking the rust off here today. Gonna add just some darker background value in here. Just to give us something to paint against. Oh, you know what, we'll leave the background out actually. I don't know if I can go back far enough now. No, I can't. Yeah, because I like to be able to cut it out later, is the reason actually. Also, these kind of work well if they're like a little bit more like stickers, if that makes sense. We'll try and refrain from putting too many backgrounds on stuff. Sometimes it is good though. It's good because it lets you sort of compare the values easier. Get something that looks a bit more recognisable as you go in. I'm going to carry on trying to put some of these highlights in and stuff and make the armor look cool. Right, I'm going to see if we can filter it a little bit, but I think we might already, excuse me, we might already be at the right kind of level already. We'll see how it looks. Yeah, I think, boy was I wrong. Yeah, I think there is some area for us to move here. It's look a bit less washed out. Yeah, from that to that. Yeah. Just looks like the lights have been turned on, as I say often. Let's try, I'll get this to go away. Here we go. Let's try saturation. I don't think we'll need to do much with the saturation, but yeah, from there to there, it'll be nicer. I might just erase this the bottom half and just focus on the top, like I say. Kind of just enjoying the bust for now. Maybe make the kind of statue shape that you see at the bottom of bust sometimes. Nah, we'll just let it fade off. face is so soft now, it's almost hard to make any changes without brush strokes being in the way. Okay, we've slowly got a nice likeness forming here. Hair didn't work out as terribly as I thought it would. So, you know, we're close, we're close. Like I say, it's all just trial and error and malleability, and you know, it's just the way it goes when you modus operandi, is it called? When your kind of workflow is to get the image in and then get it right, you know. It's always a lot of trial and error. That means a lot of the time that you're painting, it's not going to look how you want it to look, and you just, you know, slowly panel beating it into shape. Don't think we got it looking too bad now. See if we can make this sword look a bit cooler. See, we're kind of sculpting the sword like clay here, almost like putty. There is a pattern to it. You can see sometimes I'm doing kind of concave shapes on the sword by swapping where the light and the dark is. Designing swords is always super fun. I cut off too much there. Don't know though. Something makes me feel like head should be more of that shape. I don't know what about it is. Something to do with the forehead. Just isn't working out right. Let's try some other shapes. Yeah, that is actually closer. Gotta get it just right. Yeah, that looks more natural. Right then, well, I think because it's been quite a quiet one, I'm going to leave it there today. Pretty much almost an hour and a half. I do like this kind of elven armor aesthetic. I think I got quite close, but I feel like maybe the values on the armor are a bit too soupy, a bit too like milky. I don't know. I feel like maybe when we come back, we'll try and do some armor that's a bit more of like a cast iron look, and then see what maybe combining the two sort of textures together yields. So I'm really just playing with the different materials for the metal for the armor. You know, I like that really shiny look, but I want it to really have teeth and look physical still. So just trying to strike a balance with that, and maybe I want to focus on doing these art jams, like a lot of these art jams, but you know, we still have our projects on the go as well, so maybe we'll try and do just some painting on them. I think one I'm sort of itching to get back to, have a go at finishing is this one as well. I really need some finished pieces too. It's nice enough doing these art jams, and I come up with so many ideas during these art jams, but yeah, the full finished paintings, they really do get me excited. Things like this, getting every plate done on this wall, you know, there's something of a priority still, so we'll see how we balance it. But yeah, for now, just going to leave that as a kind of a quiet, short one. I think the face turned out way nicer than I was kind of expecting on this one, so that's one of the pros. And yeah, I'm going to sign out.